Welcome back to the podcast. And today we have Xavier. What's Xavier's last name?
Brown. Xavier Brown.
Xavier Brown. Now, how did you meet Xavier? I do not know you, Xavier, and I prefer it this way. I mean, I'm gonna know you at the end of this.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And with that said, I really don't even know Xavier except for the 45 minutes we met at Cheddar's restaurant in Erie, Pennsylvania. And
that's correct.
I noticed this young man because the way he had this presence about himself, right, and the way he carried himself, and I was just interested to see what he was about.
Right.
And so he gave me a little rundown on how he wanted to be a psychiatrist, correct?
Correct.
Right. And then
Wait. How old are you, my brother?
Yeah, he's 21.
No, you.
Oh, 40,
I'm looking at
40,
you.
46?
You 46.
Right. What's up?
Right? As of Valentine's Day.
What's up?
I could tell you getting old because you nosy as hell with people.
Man, what you talking about, man?
Why is he in your business, Xavier? Because he's old. And old people want to know what you're doing.
Oh, man. Yeah, that could be true. I do have a lot of older people coming to me asking me what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, look here. Okay.
All right, sorry for interrupting him, but I had to say that. He's old and he in your business.
Now, am I old or is that just the old cop in me just investigating? I'm trying to have a consensual conversation.
Oh, you ain't trying to tear up his Fourth Amendment.
No, man. Right. I'm doing it legally.
Okay.
So when we met, he was just, I just felt like he had a story, you know?
Right.
I didn't get too far into it. And I told him, stop right there, save it. Don't you say one more word. Just serve me my country fried chicken, boy. Yeah. You know? and then potatoes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get at you later.
Right.
So, but with that said, Mr. Brown, coming back from that day, we'll just pick up where we left off then. What were you about to tell me when I asked you, what did you want to do in life and why did you want to do it?
So I want to be a psychiatrist. I actually recently changed my career path into wanting to be a psychiatrist. And the reason why I want to do it is because I do want to help people. And I want to help people in a way that is, I guess, becoming more of a relevancy of a problem, which is mental health. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of friends and a lot of people that I've known for my short life that suffer from a lot of mental illnesses. Some might be a little self-diagnosed, but nonetheless, I still see it all as a problem in their life that's getting in the way of them being as happy as they can be. And I just want to be educated enough in order to help people and get them better.
So what did you see as a young kid, like something, you were saying something sparked it. What was the first thing or what's the first thing that comes to mind that you wanted to pursue this to help others?
Just seeing my friends not happy. There would be times when I was younger where I would be in school, whether it be middle school or high school, where people would come to school and they would be off that day, or they wouldn't be in school for days at a time. And I'd be like, hey, are you okay? And they would tell me like, no, things are going on at home, or I'm not feeling good about myself, especially once you get into those years of puberty. You start to go through those hormonal changes and people start to look at themselves a little differently. You're not that child that's just happy about being on earth anymore. You're thinking about how you look. You're thinking about how you dress. Your family's starting to have more problems. You're understanding that your mom can't do it all, and sometimes that affects people, not just my friends, but other people in their family too. Like, imagine being a parent and having to tell your child, no, I can't get this for you because I don't have the money for it. And then you start to gain a little bit into that depression state where you're like, wow, I really can't do this. My child isn't happy because I can't be there for them. And that's just like the small part of it. It gets so much more in depth when you get to the diagnosis of people being born with mental illnesses, because those are, I guess, more of the things I'm going to be focused in whenever I do become a psychiatrist. But just even the little things, like I said, just people changing how they talk and how they are, and like going off of their routine, what I'm used to seeing them as. It kind of just made me feel like, wow, I want to help people in any way possible.
Right. And we can relate to that because growing up, our mom would tell us, "I can't afford that," and I'm guessing as a parent, well, knowing as a parent, you want to have the means to provide for your kids, and I can get how that's very stressful and depressing for the parent and the child because the child really doesn't really know what it takes. As children, you ask and you just hope that it's you get it, it's received. Have you had any struggles in your own childhood as of yet, or have you just been noticing others?
Um, I I would say, yeah, growing up, it wasn't. I don't know this entirely just because my mom was in the situation, but I know it wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't easy for her. She, there was five of us. She had five kids, and I know we were really, really needy kids. So, us, I guess, trying to get from her, she did all she could. She worked her entire time. She did everything she could, and we always had a roof over our head. That's all I know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times where I'd be like, "Hey, mom, can I get this?" And looking back, I'm like, "Okay, she didn't have the money for it." Or some days we would, you know, eat the same thing 3 days in a row. But I know she did the best she could because she knew what she had to sacrifice. She knew she had to pay this bill or pay this bill, in order to, I guess, keep our household running.
Right.
And so that meant sacrificing in order to have us eat the same thing 3 days in a row, or us not getting 5 Christmas gifts and only getting two, those
Right.
kind of things.
Right. Are you the oldest of the siblings?
I am not. I'm the middle child.
The middle child?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still living with your mom now, or are you like out on your own?
I am actually living with my dad now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
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 I haven't lived with him my whole life. I just started living with him once I started going to college.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I see how that goes.
Let me ask you this. Did COVID kind of amplify things in your mind? That whole COVID stage we went through?
Do you mean by like how I feel about my like career path, like how me wanting to help people?
Right. Yeah. And like just seeing certain people go through certain psyches for the time, depression and whatnot.
I would say yes, but not because of other people. I would say yes because of myself. Um, I, and this is like, I guess not the end of the world, but I had a girlfriend at the time and we ended up breaking up because I went to Penn State for college and I was hours away and it just wasn't working out between us. And that was like in the middle, like right when COVID was like at its like peak. And I went through kind of like a stage where I was not myself and I didn't feel good. And so it gave me more of a empathy for other people and an outlook to see, okay, now I know how you're feeling because I've never been one to be, depressed or sad before that. And then
Right.
I went through it. And after going through it and after getting out of that stage and after feeling better and making myself feel better and having other people be there for me and help me out, talk to me and guide me through it, it, like I said, gave me more empathy to be there for other people and want to be there for other people.
Yeah. So, and you were young when this was going on, and I find it strange now how it's so different because you have a social media type um, lifestyle or world, right? Our world back then, we couldn't really like there was no kids like speaking their minds like that, nor was there any kind of pressure you could visually see on like Facebook or TikTok or Instagram and how you had to be. So back
Because I
then,
think kids in our time was more into in their own imagination,
right,
and lost in their own sauce.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for us, it was different. But I know I would have never have made those steps. Not saying that people our age would not have as kids, but it was definitely harder. But I can only imagine it's how hard it is now. Have you seen social media, or have you seen like other kids when you were going through like elementary and high school become subject of social media, like not adding up or being adequate enough or not living up to what the standards are and keeping up with the Joneses?
Yeah, I actually did a paper and a speech about this in one of my classes in school, um, about how social media really affects the mental health of a person,
Mm-hmm.
because there are people, especially my age, in older, younger, younger as well, where they'll look on social media and they'll, especially women, they see all the pretty girls on social media, all the models and everything, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Why can't I look like her? My girlfriend now, she kind of does the same thing. She will look at somebody and be like, a picture on Instagram and be like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I wish I was this pretty. And like sometimes you might think it comes off as that's just them saying that, but they really think that. They really think they're not enough because they see somebody else who is enough. And social media is a lie. It is people putting stuff on the internet where they look their best.
Right.
You're not going to post anything where you don't look your best because people think that's embarrassing.
Right.
People think that the real is embarrassing. They don't want to show people the real them. They want to show them the them where they're dressed up, they have their makeup done, they're wearing the best outfit, those type of things. They don't wake up in the morning, take a picture of their face and post that, because why would you?
Right.
No one's gonna care for that. They're gonna care about you being at your best, at your peak.
Yeah, and I feel that's lacking because like we built that narrative, right? We as humans,
Yeah.
we don't put anything on social media saying, hey, why don't you just wake up and don't wear any makeup and be yourself? And if you're wearing makeup, what are you making up for? Like, are you having, everyone's beautiful in their own right. We don't have those narratives when we see social media nowadays. Now it's like I like to call it the Hollywood effect. Everybody, you got to be glamorous if you want attention, if you want to be notarized, and you have to not look like yourself, but look like this person or feel like this person, and that's just telling people that they're not enough. So what would be your, since you wrote a paper on it, what would be your best advice to that, like trying to counter that? If you had a social media platform, what would you do different, you think?
Honestly, it would be almost contradicting. If I had a social media platform in order to share my personal, like what I would want people to do, it'd be contradicting because I would tell them to not use social media.
Right.
I would literally be like, look, drop it. Right. Don't use it, because that's what I did. And I know what I do isn't going to work for everyone, but I stopped when I wasn't in the best of my state. I stopped using social media. Right. I deleted everything and strictly didn't use it for, I would say, probably 4 or 5 months.
Right.
And after that, it kind of just made me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
After I deleted everything, I started to feel better. I completely started doing things that I felt like were what I was doing before I started doing social media. Like when I was a child, I started drawing more. I always loved drawing. Mm-hmm. Drawing, just me being more focused in school too, just educating myself, it made me feel better too. I always like to learn. I always like to, get better at certain things. And I feel like you waste a lot of time on social media just looking mindlessly, worrying about other people's lives when you should be improving your own.
Right. Did you end up helping yourself fight through your mental? I know you said you had some friends that you called on, but when you were suffering from your own little mental health, I guess I'm taking notice that you did a lot of self-digging and helped yourself out of the rut, right?
Yeah, that is very true. I know I talked to my brother a lot. My brother, he was always there for me. Like every morning, he would always call me, check on me, see how I'm doing. But in the times where I wasn't talking to him or talking to another friend, I distracted myself by being at work. When I was at work, it helped me stay distracted from everything that was going on. And it wasn't like I was pushing it to the side, because I still thought about it. But I felt like in order for me to be the most motivated, in order for me to do the most work, I had to do it when I wasn't motivated. Because me being motivated is only me feeling like I can do it. But if I don't feel like I can do it and I can still do it, then I know that I'm doing better. I would say I took a lot of time to think about maybe where I didn't feel too happy about myself as a person, or where other people might, even though people's opinions really don't matter, they do in a way. Right. Where I try to, see, okay, where would somebody not like me? What can I do to make other people feel better too? Like, I wanted to look at it all in a big picture. And honestly, just a lot of time by myself, a lot of time working, just helped me get out of that hole. I also love sports, so I watch sports a lot. I would watch older basketball videos, or even basketball at the time that was going on, older football videos. I played the game a little bit, like my Xbox. I would play sports games on the Xbox. And, I'm pretty good at them. So when I would win, it made me feel a little bit better about myself too. That kind of boosted my confidence. And even just playing sports in real life too. I would go to the court, shoot for probably about like an hour, working out. I know a lot of people use working out as a way to get themselves out of a bad state of mind, because that, the hormones that you, I guess, secrete from working out. What is it? I forgot what it's called exactly, but it makes you feel better. Like when you work out,
those endorphins.
You feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
You were saying that words or people's opinions don't necessarily mean anything, and you're right, they don't. But I was a big firm believer that, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. And I think about that more, and I go, well, that's not exactly entirely true, because words can most definitely hurt you. Even if you're of a good, positive mind, if someone were to repeatedly say, I hate you, you're this, you're that, even though if you know that they're not true, the emotion that person puts across with his or her words, it definitely affects you, right?
My wife says, lift weights and cry. She always says that.
Yeah.
and so that means what it means to me, lift weights and cry. There's a time to be a man and strong, but then there's a time to visit your emotional side, which she says to me a lot, that people make men look less when they have a moment to themselves, or they cry, or they break down emotionally. That's a form of stripping your masculinity. Yeah. And it's the exact opposite. I think if we're born with all these feelings, and we're born with just a freaking brain, we're supposed to experience everything there is about this world and this life.
Right. And the fact that is how, it just sounds ignorant to say that, women they're emotional creatures. They're just emotional. Right. To even exclude.
You're trained to think that the woman should only be the only person to show emotion.
Right. And that is just, I find that to be just as dumb as shit.
Right.
Like, how can we're all humans? We all were born with this gift of emotion. I still think it's beneficial to, if you're that stressed, to cry, because I found, even through my own stress or struggles, if I cried, I felt 1,000,000 times better.
Right.
And I was, why in the hell am I holding this in?
Right.
I should do this shit more often. I ain't gonna go out in public and be like, yo, my man, let me cry in front of you, brother. I'm not gonna do that.
You got a shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll stay in the car and I'll just let it, shed a couple tears. But yeah, I don't know why we built these narratives on us like that, and then we kind of like stay fast by them as men, when that is totally not the case. You're just fighting every fiber of your human existence.
Yeah.
But I applaud you for getting out of your own hole. You reached out, but sometimes the best way is to really dig in there and look at your reflection.
Yeah, mental health is crazy, but I'm about to turn the damn tables. Are you ready to go on a ride with me, sir?
Hey, where are we going?
Yeah, well, see, you're the first person to ask, where you're going.
Look,
because most people would just be like, I guess.
I'm going to ask you something because you're young, and I want to know what a young man thinks. Do you think this world would be ran better if only women were allowed to be presidents and leaders of third world countries and new world countries? Like, do you think we would have more love on this planet, or do you think they would just do the same thing man does?
Wow, that definitely is a ride.
I mean, just think about everything there is to a woman. Just think about everything there is to a woman. A woman.
I don't know if I could say that things would be different in that aspect. I personally think that we all share a mind in a way. Everyone is born in, even from birth, like you don't know that it's stealing unless you're told that it's stealing.
Right.
So we've taught a lot of things throughout the years, and I think that it's just gone to show that we have put the trait of, I guess, powerful and leadership and all that stuff onto a man, and loving and caring onto a woman. If you want to get into, the religion of things, I guess a woman is born to care and nurture.
Right.
That is their job. But I do think that men can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. I think that even if women were to be in power in every position of countries, presidents, all those things, they would still be just as hard, because we have taught ourselves throughout the years that this is what this is what the criteria is in order to be at the head, at the top. You have to be hard. You have to be strong. You have to be those type of things. So if a woman was in that position, I still feel like those would be the same criteria, and she would still be held to the same standards, and she would still be doing the same thing that a man would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, hold on.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I love it. But if let me see here. If your main lady, your main squeeze, if she is in that particular cycle of the month, and let's just say the red button is right there, and she ain't feeling all that great, and she pushed that goddamn red button, now we got a different issue.
Okay.
So here's where I'm at. I think you need both. I think you need a man and a woman as president, because it's an ultimate balance. It equals it out. Because you could be there and be like, baby, you in the month right now.
Yeah.
We can't have you next to this button. Let me just hold on to it for you until you get your senses together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think you got to have the duality of both. The segregation shit is what I'm done with.
Mm-hmm.
If we got a president, it might as well be plural, presidents, and you have a male and a female body in there, or male and a male if those persons are gay, or a female, but you would have to have that other person to feed things off of. And I think that's why most presidencies fail, because they're so narrow-minded and biased.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it is ego. And to be honest, I don't know how it will look. I would like to believe, though, we would edge more to a positive nature if certain roles were placed in certain individuals' hands. Like if something needed to be nurtured well, and we needed to look like a country that's loving, and I would think you would put that into a woman's hands so they can run that department. And then when it looks like you don't like our ideas or how we roll with our life in this country, then we need men to kind of negotiate it. But if we got to, we'll have to fight for what we like or what we love, and not be, and not succumb to another nation's ideation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the posturing aspect, and then the empathy aspect.
Right. To always be inviting, and,
right. No testosterone, or
yes.
But I mean that can go either way, because you got some women that are just as ego driven as a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you can't generalize and say all women are.
But we would have to go back to, like Xavier was saying, we were all taught something,
right?
And now that's the standard,
right?
So I guess it would be an endless
conversation.
It would be an endless conversation, but one could have hope that it may have gone, because we don't know an outcome, correct? So this is all hypothetical. But I have hope that the outcome would edge differently.
Mm. Yeah, because it's a different dynamic, and every other country is doing it but us. America is so forward driven, but yet we still don't have a female president.
Right.
You know, we just broke the surface of having a black president.
Yeah.
Other countries are doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so it would be different, and I think it's time for a change that we start seeing that. Like, how long did it take to even get the woman in the workplace? Like, we were scratching at goals for that.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like it's retarded.
In a weird way, it seemed like it's going backwards. Now it seemed like.
Or it's flipped.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just a small percentage of men wanting to be women and take over women's jobs. It's like they want to regress one way or another, you know?
I can see where you might think that at.
You know, men want to be in women's sport. So now they're
you bringing up, yeah, man. I'm going to steer clear of that one because that's known to cancel people.
Everybody in their right mind know that's wrong. I don't care if it canceled me or not.
Yeah.
Everybody in their, Meryl.
Yeah, I
you
don't
know everybody in their right mind
I don't know
knows
why.
wrong.
I don't know why if your name is Hank and you want to get into an all-women's wrestling team.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Why don't you get into a transgender wrestling team? Or I don't know. I don't want to go there with it, but
you did. I mean, I tried to stop you.
That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Oh man. Hey, so what have you prepped for? Like, are you gearing up? Are you in the program to get this psychiatry business done?
Okay, so what have I prepped for? Right now, like I said, I didn't start off doing this. I started off as a sports journalism major. I actually just started the, psychiatry goal this academic year. Mm-hmm. I've been in contact with some people at my school who are in the higher ups and who are more, fitted to point me in the right direction towards med school and all that stuff. I would say 2 weeks ago, I actually talked to a psychiatrist in class. He came in, spoke to the class, and afterwards I talked to him for about 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. 20 minutes, he gave me some good information. I got his contact information. I have a professor. She's been pointing me in the right direction. She's been telling me about different places where I should shadow or try to internship or even do some community hours there in order to make it, have some experience and to put something on my resume in order to build that. Because getting into med school is not just about the grades. They want to know that you actually want to try and apply yourself. And you have to be hands-on with these things too. Just because I know things doesn't mean that I know how to do these things. Like, I can read a book and know how to save someone's life, but I actually have to save someone's life in order to do it.
Right. You gotta get that real world experience. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something, Xavier, real quick, because you're gonna have to interact with schizophrenic people and bipolar people, and I want you to be prepared for this. So, my brother and I, we worked for this ambulance company back in the day, and it was called AmeriCare Ambulance. I don't care. I'm blasting the name. So we were their specialists as far as the psychiatric ambulance, right? They would always call us for the psychiatric or mental health people. And I just want you to wrap your mind around the interesting people you're going to meet. We would get this regular dude. I know you remember.
Michael Jackson.
This dude name was Michael Jackson. Okay, that's probably not his real name. I forgot what his real name was.
But he wanted to be identified as Michael Jackson.
So every time they would call us, right, they would go up to Mike and be like, look, it's either LAPD come and get you or it's the twins come and get you.
In the SMART team.
The PET team evaluator. So we would get there and Mike would be dancing in the street. And I mean just like Michael Jackson. He just have one shoe on and maybe no shirt, but he was doing his damn thing.
And sometimes he was just asshole naked in the middle of the street.
Now, most people will look at him and go, they judge right away. He's a crackhead. he's a crazy or something like that. But when my brother and I approached him, and we had a lot of experience in the field of mental health, only thing Michael really wanted was someone to acknowledge that he was
Michael Jackson,
acknowledge that he was Michael. And the last thing you want to do is play into their psyche, right? So we would say things like, "You did good, you're looking great." But unfortunately, we can't do it in the middle of the 405 freeway. You're going to have to get into the ambulance and show me a little something.
And then he would always decline. It was like, no, I want to sign my AMA. But I was like, check this out. If you get in, I'll get you a cigarette. And we was known to carry cigarettes on us. And it's something about a psyche mind that they just love to smoke cigarettes. And he goes, well, can I smoke it in the ambulance? Sure.
No, you can't. There's oxygen in the ambulance.
But he got in. We were able to soft restrain his ass and send him to get some help for 3 days.
And, what we also found is you can talk to him to a certain degree.
Right.
And there comes to a point where words, unfortunately, they're just not enough.
It doesn't help.
No, they're not.
And then you physically have to interact with these people. So, you'll have fun stories. I will say, always keep a pack of cigarettes on you, and a book of matches.
Yep.
Words to the wise there, and just treat them with respect, because at the end of the day, no one other than their doctor or a loved one is doing that for them. So by you wanting to get into this, just know you will have to, deal with these type of people.
But then you're going to have the ones you're going to have to be aggressive and get hands-on. If you choose to go a particular intern route, you got to get aggressive. You got to go hands-on. Just not everybody's fit for this planet.
Right.
So, I mean, this is real sound advice for you.
Yeah. And patience.
Yeah.
I've learned, even in law enforcement, just to have patience until patience is no longer a viable option. So I would say definitely get yourself immediately into a mental health facility and just attach yourself to the hip of one of the nurses who pass out meds. Get in good with, and also have a resource for you too. So and I'll give you that after the podcast. But I think you're going to do a world of good in this field.
Let me ask you this: when's the last time you've been to a zoo?
Oh yeah. I got it.
A zoo?
A zoo.
Been a long time.
Been a long time, has it?
Okay, if you go to the zoo, what's your favorite exhibit?
I like the reptiles.
You like
The
the
reptiles.
See, you're a cautious man, and I applaud you.
At what point do you work your way to the monkeys?
Oh, we just cutting straight to it. We're just going all in. No build up.
Honestly, when other people want to go.
Yeah. Have you been to the monkey exhibit?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have.
Okay. Did you get curious about their psyche by any chance?
No. Honestly, I feel like, just from history.
This is what I want you to do for homework, Xavier. Are you listening to me?
Right. You might want to get something to write this shit down, because it's going to be priceless.
This is what I want you to do for homework. I want you to give me an answer on why monkeys think it's okay to throw shit at a passerby. Did you write that down? I didn't see you write that down.
No, I didn't write it down.
Well, you'll have the recording later. It's fine.
Yeah. You're going to have a podcast later, but he's serious.
I want a thesis on why they think it's okay to throw shit at a passerby. And if you can collect as much data as possible, I happen to believe it's a case of stop analyzing me. I'm a monkey. Or it could be you're wearing the wrong color. Or it could be you cut your eyes at me and you got what you got coming to you, sucker.
We don't have a research team, but as you notice now, we have self-appointed you to the research team, and we want you to thoroughly investigate these here matters. Now, my brother and I have a weird fascination with monkeys. And
I want you to come back on this podcast, and I want to hear that thesis. Not just me, all of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
All of
Okay.
YouTube is like 800 and something people right now, but all of YouTube.
Every last one of them. Because they're curious. Because they know us.
Doesn't it make you curious now?
Yeah, I actually do. I know exactly what you mean too. They can get a little riled up sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
a little. Brother,
they do.
Xavier, it's personal.
It is.
When an animal feels it needs to shit in his hand,
And throw his feces.
it's personal.
It's very personal.
Xavier, have you ever seen any UFOs or come across any weird phenomenon out there when you've been like exploring this here Earth?
None that I can recall. No.
No, you haven't seen anything in the sky that moved funny and you thought, well, that's funny.
Maybe, but I can't remember if it was a dream or if it was like real life. or
Oh,
not.
well, shit. Now you're getting your realities mixed up. You can't
Yeah.
remember if you was dreaming or reality?
Yeah, I don't know. I probably looked up in the sky one time and was like, okay, that moved weird. But I don't know if it was like a dream or if
Okay, that's fair enough.
Are you
That's fair enough.
are you a type of guy that can remember his dreams? Like when you dreamed, can you remember your dreams? Because some people can't.
not a lot. I
Really?
can.
Right.
But most of the time I would say I can remember probably not even 20% of my dreams.
Really. You ever have one stood out so bad where you remember it to this day?
No.
You ever want to travel in the woods by yourself and just camp?
No.
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 You know, most black people don't want to do that, which I totally agree with because that don't make no sense at all.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I would never.
No. You ever see apparition or maybe shadow figures in your room at night?
I mean,
No.
you're putting some
No.
stuff in this.
I mean,
dude's
you
head,
are really
man.
you are really a phenomenon in 21-year-olds. You realize this, right?
Yeah, like
Really?
you are ahead of your time. Have you ever had any deja vu moments? Let me ask you that.
A couple. I feel like there's times where I'm like, okay, I've definitely lived through this before. But it's really rare. I'd probably say like it happens maybe once or twice a year.
Oh,
Not even.
yeah, but when it's on you, when it comes upon you, you know, like you've done this before, huh?
Yeah, it's that one moment where something happens and I'm like, wait a minute. I pause and like, I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I know what just happened definitely happened before.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
So you have had a little touch of
That's
some.
challenging in itself.
Yeah.
Wait till the days you are deep in your work. I don't know what avenue you're going to go down with this because you can go into DMT and ayahuasca and the psychonauts and you can explore a whole lot with the mental processes. But wait till you get your first person that says, I lived this life before. Let me prove it to you. At what point are you going to be like, he's full of shit, or
Is he?
is he?
When I start to get some validity. So
Yeah.
once
Okay.
they start telling me stuff and then it actually happens or it
Yeah.
doesn't happen,
Right.
then that's when.
Okay. So
What-
you still need proof.
Yeah.
You're not just going to take somebody's word for it.
Which, yeah.
Okay.
Which makes for
I mean,
a sound.
I'll believe you until I don't. You
Right.
tell
Okay.
me and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna not believe you, but I'm not gonna believe you. So, but once I'm proven wrong or once I'm proven right, then that's when I'm like, okay, for sure.
You do realize you should have been born in the 90s, right?
I told him that.
Because you would have been great with a answering machine and a payphone and your mama telling you just be home when the street lights come on.
Yep.
It seems like you would fare well without all the technology. You are an old soul, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, at 21, let me tell you something.
You're looking at kids at the age of 21
And
going, what is
evaluating them.
wrong with you
Yeah,
kids?
Yeah, evaluating them. I'm telling you, at 21, I was not doing that.
Do you listen to contemporary jazz, Xavier?
I don't. I would say I don't have any in my library or anything. But when it comes on, I don't turn it off.
What you playing in your ear? What's going on with that?
What do you mean? Like music?
Yeah,
wise?
Yeah.
I'm really diverse in my music taste. I can go old school R&B, new school R&B. I got rap. I got pop. I have I guess the Swifties music. I have like I'm all around with it.
Wait, the what? The Swifties?
Like Taylor Swift. I guess that
okay.
like
Yeah.
kind of music. Maybe not just fully her, but like just that style of
Okay,
music.
so you all over the place.
Right.
Yeah, I got club music, I got sad music, it's all over the place. And I just have different playlists for each genre category.
Do you play your music based on how you feeling for today?
No. Usually for the majority of things, I have a playlist where it's like basically most of my favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one I go to majority of the time. There are times where I'm like, you know what? I want to listen to some older songs. So I go and I put on my older songs playlist, like 90s, 80s, 2000s, like that era. There's times where I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to listen to that. I want to more listen to like newer music. And so I have my 2010s, 2020s, that one, you know.
Yeah. So you got your mood. He got his mood.
Yeah. Let me ask you
I guess,
this.
yeah, I have them. They're just not common. Like I mostly go to my playlist where it's just my favorite songs.
Right.
And I just shuffle through that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Because you a psychiatrist and all.
Damn, not yet. Give the boy a chance, man.
What you think about Kanye West? Is he crazy or no?
He crazy as hell.
Is he crazy?
Yeah.
Maybe slightly, but
hey, but that is a great observation.
He definitely he's not wrong. A lot of things that he said. He defends himself and he defends his image. And
Yep. I agree.
Yeah,
he be saying some right things.
He does. He just lacks context. Yeah. You know, like
I feel like he's always angry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He always thinks someone's like after him or like plotting like to do something bad.
Right. Yeah, he'll leave things to where you really have to like, I hope there was more to that. He'll say things like, I hate the Jews. And he'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
but then he'll come back in a later podcast.
Totally out of context.
But then he'll come back in a later podcast and be like, what I meant to say is I hate the Jews because they you know, something like they polished as a people and I feel bad that I couldn't be as good as them. You know, and it was
and then he just flipped the script.
Right. Yeah. And it's like why didn't you say that in the beginning, bruh? Like you just throwing things out there, you let people think one thing, knowing that we know you know how to speak. Like he makes a lot of valid points.
He does.
But yeah, my brother's right. The dude just lacks context. It's like you got to give a full explanation on these things.
And his music is cool. Remember he was running around doing this church thing? You remember that?
Oh, in Wyoming too.
Yeah, he lived in Wyoming.
Yeah, he bought that ranch.
Yeah. I thought he was a little out of his mind then. Now he wants to build a utopia somewhere, I think, in Africa or what was it?
I don't know. I can't keep up with that dude's mind.
Yeah. Hey. But he's big in the music world, so I didn't know what you thought about him. So there we go.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to some of his songs, some of his older songs.
Yeah.
You know, some are just classics. I feel like you just have to know what they are. You might not have to listen to them, but you just know what they are.
Right.
So some of his older songs, I definitely do have it in my playlist that goes through. But whenever I listen to him, I don't think of him as a person. I'm like, okay, I like this song. I don't think, oh, he's a bad person or he said something stupid or something like that.
Right. You just like him for, you know, for what he's doing. Yeah.
He's putting out like I like your music.
Yeah, and I can vibe with it.
Yeah.
You think do you find it hard to find friends that match your vibration? Because I can tell you ahead of the game, bro. Do you find people that are like you? Driven, like focus driven, like they are actually they are like dialed in on where their life is going.
Honestly, no.
So
I don't have a lot of friends that I guess talk to or I'm around all the time.
Right.
Even when I go to school now, like I go to school, I get done with my classes, and I go right home or I go to work.
Right.
You know, I don't stay after and I don't talk to anybody, and it might be because I'm not looking for that because of how focused and driven I am. I told myself, I'm like, I transferred schools and I was like, I'm not looking to make new friends.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get my work done.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, this is a classic case of leveling up too fast.
Well, the dude levels up with me because I see Xavier's like, man, you hang out with a bunch of 46-year-olds, bro.
You leveled up too fast,
Yeah,
bro. You
yeah,
got to slow down
gotta
a little
slow
bit.
down.
You done left all
I
your damn
know.
people.
Yeah, you find some younger friends, and I would say share a piece of you that makes them go, wow, this dude's really got it together. So that way they can at least evaluate their life and go, maybe I need to start, having some sort of direction. Just can't stay on the freeway without no exits my whole life. You know what I mean?
Well, trust me, I have a lot of coworkers that are my age. They talk to me all the time. They actually they come to me for advice, and I tell them about my life, and I think that I make an impact on their life.
Right.
I also have friends that do go to the school that I go to now. They just started there. Like they've been there for years, and I know them, and so they talk to me at times, and I know that there's a little bit of a disconnect when it comes between us, with their goals or their mindset right now and mine. And I'm not saying that my mindset is any better, but I know that my mindset is more focused on the end goal. And when I talk to them and, we have our conversation and stuff, I feel like I come off to them in a way where they're like, you know what? Like, he really got his stuff together. Like, I have not one doubt in my mind that people leave a conversation with me and think, wow, that guy is just completely lost. I don't know what he's going to do in life or what's going on with him at all. And I am glad that that's the case. And I do talk, like, I know I'm not outgoing. I used to be really outgoing when I was in high school. I kind of just took a step back away from that because it wasn't doing anything for me for the future. But you are right, talking to other people, getting other people, especially younger people, on the same path and the same mindset, on the same wave that I'm on,
Right. Sometimes
it will help us all out as a society.
Yeah, because sometimes a younger person can, it's not always the best thing to look at an older person and get advice, especially if you're a rebellious youth. You look at someone as your own peers and go, oh, I can seek advice from somebody my own age bracket. I'm not saying go out there and try to convert people, but yeah, I would just say be you, tell your little story and how driven you are, and you never know. What's your mom and dad's first name?
Robin and Derek.
This is to Robin and Derek because y'all created a
shout out
fine young gentleman. And he looked like
thank you.
Produced a fine human.
He looked like my boy what's the actor's name? You look like my boy. Michael B. Jordan. I bet if I put
heard that before.
Yeah, bro, you got his smile. I'm telling you.
I've definitely heard that before.
What was your mom and dad names again?
Robin and Derek.
Robin.
Yeah.
And Derek.
Yeah.
Hey man, look, Derek, you did a good job.
Damn
man.
fine boy.
Shit.
Fine
Thank
human.
you.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you some questions. Make your answer short as possible. These gonna be some bizarre questions. So just be careful how you answer these things. You ready to play?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. You walk into a store and someone's holding a cashier gunpoint. What do? Run, call the police, or intervene?
Call the police.
I'm gonna digest on that one.
Do you want to add more to that, or you want to leave it at that before I ask you the next one?
So I was gonna say run, but I was gonna say run and then call the police. I was gonna kind of combine the answers.
Okay.
I feel like me intervening, it would only cause more of a problem. Cashiers and bank tellers and stuff, when they're getting robbed, they're taught to give the money.
Okay.
And so me fighting that, it would only cause, I feel like, more of a distress situation.
This boy's smart as hell.
Yeah, so you got a classic thing of leveling up too fast.
Yeah.
You need to slow your ass down.
You need to slow right on down.
Sit your ass down somewhere.
And I would say, number one, hey man, run.
And don't look back.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say run first.
This is law enforcement telling you, bruh.
Universe suffers no heroes.
Yes.
Okay, let me ask you this one. You're walking along and you see a man just pummeling a woman. What do? Call 911 or intervene?
In that situation, I'm going to intervene.
Elaborate why you would, please, sir. I'm curious.
There's not a gun. There's not a gun.
So you just recognize it as a clean pummeling, and you can't stand no more. And
No.
so you intervene.
In that situation, someone's actively getting hurt.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I can prevent that from happening, especially if I get hurt in that situation. That is just my physical strength versus somebody else's. And I'm confident in my physical strength. With the gun situation, anything can happen. Then they can shoot me before I even get close to them. And I can catch the person off guard. There's just a lot of things that I can do in order to turn the tables my way and save a person's life, really.
Right. And there is no right or wrong answer for that. I'm going to tell you that right now. Being me who I am, you damn right I'm going to have to get in there and potentially save that woman's life. Because no matter what the argument was about or why they were going through it, you have an obligation to just help people if that's your nature. Hell, running and calling the police is still a good, viable option, you know?
Yeah.
But it just goes back to the person.
And domestic violence is a very, very dangerous thing.
Tell me about it.
So for you to immediately throw that into your mind.
Because sometimes maybe I can't get there in time.
That's a selfless act.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this one. You're driving along the highway. You witness a car accident. Do you stop to see if everyone's okay? Or do you call for help?
I call for help.
I'm the same.
Why, you think you out of your element to render help, or?
You said, do I think I'm like, I won't be able to provide help?
Right. Yeah. Like, why would you call for help versus rendering help?
Because in that situation, I can't do any more to really help besides call. I can go and investigate the situation. If somebody is, I guess, stuck in the car, I might be able to help them out. But
you don't have the jaws of life in your trunk. Yeah. I'm gonna ask. That's perfect.
There's really no wrong answers. It just allows me to know who you are.
Who you are. I got one. It's probably going to be the last question, but there is bona fide evidence of the afterlife. And let's just say a spokesperson for the afterlife comes to you and says, Xavier, all your friends that you don't know, family members that you don't know, people you don't know, who all know you and who all love you so much are in the afterlife waiting for you. And there you will be your truest self, your all loving self with no more worries of the world. And you'll have just utopia waiting for you. And he presents an option of, or you can stay here and see what your life will come out to be. That's for the good and that's for the bad. What do you do?
I'm staying.
Instantly. I love the hardcore. Maybe, well, I won't generalize, but that says that you are you have a good foundation on life right now. Now, if I were to pose that to another 21-year-old that had a different set of cards throughout life that he or she was dealt, we might be getting a different answer. I'm kind of getting close to my own conclusions that it's all in the nature of where someone is in their life when that question is presented to them.
Why do you choose to stay?
My job here is not finished.
Simple as that.
Wait, so you feel like you have a job here? Like there's no one telling you this, right? Like deep down, instinctively, you feel like your job is not done here.
Correct. Yeah.
In the physical aspect, mind you, that's where I'm aiming toward, right?
Yeah.
Right. Do you believe in heaven? Are you religious?
Yeah.
What's your denomination?
I'm Christian.
Christian. So when you, what do you think about when you think of heaven? Like, what's your heaven look like?
It is what is beyond this world. It is where what you explained, where you will see the ones that you love and the ones that loved you the most.
I like that. Do you ever have any images of like mountains or like a reflection of Earth?
Like mental images, or like just see them like on a picture?
Or just like whatever you like, whatever your construct is, you know, is it a reflection of Earth, or is it something else entirely?
Are you talking about like heaven?
Yeah.
No. I see it as white. I see it as a blank canvas. Whatever each person imagines it to be. So,
man, you need to watch a movie. It's a little older than your time, and it's called What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams in it and
Cuba Gooding Jr.
And that is the exact thing the writers did with their portrayal of heaven. It's everyone's own ideal. And I think that's awesome that you said that, even being Christian, because the book doesn't teach that. It teaches us it's a reflection of Earth. There's mountains, birds, and trees. You know, you're going to go here, you're going to go there, but yet you still have your own imagination and your own like moral compass, but you just have it with a religious background. And that is a beautiful thing there, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we have to end this podcast and wrap it up, but you know we got to have this dude back. We got to have some follow up on where you at if you in the program.
You only coming back on this show if you have pertinent information for me,
for the monkeys.
Okay. Well, I will have that information for you.
And I want you to do another thing that most people don't do. I want you to go up to a random stranger. Make sure that you can perceive it to be a safe location. And I want it to be a man. Okay. And I want you to look him dead in his eye. And I want you to ask him, the hell you eating for dinner? And just see what kind of reaction you get. And leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be a certain reaction I'm supposed to get?
No.
It's just some random shit.
Make sure you say it with some humor, though.
Yeah.
Don't just walk up and be like,
to him serious.
what are you going to have for dinner?
You got to make sure it's humorous and be like, say, man.
You have to engage
hell
where
you eating for din-din? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the conversation goes 1,000 ways, but it's a very interesting way to ask it.
Just get out there.
Yeah,
and
you got
to
get into character too. Don't forget to get into character.
Yeah.
All right, give me that. Give me that damn thesis on these monkeys. Look, I'm no scholar, so I'm not going to know if you did this thesis right. But damn it, I'm going to read it.
Yeah, I'm going to read it too. And wait, before we get out of here, is there anything you want to leave? Any social media platform that you want people to reach out to you if they feel like they could learn a lot from you?
Maybe an email.
Is there any last little parting gifts of wisdoms from your old ass that you would like to tell people?
I'm old now.
Yeah, you old as hell, bro. Old as hell.
Any wise words of wisdom for people that are struggling or currently going through some mental health issues? Maybe been in a position that you were and you got yourself out. Anything you could give to them?
If anybody wants to, come to me about any of those things, they could follow me on Instagram at x.avierb. It's my first name with the last initial B, but there's a period between the X and the A. But anything that I could say to you guys, just be yourself. Stop trying to be perfect. We're not perfect. We're not made to be perfect. We're made to be us. You're perfect with your imperfections. And so with that being said, just be you. Because you're great. You're awesome.
Yes. Listen to this old dude.
You might do well at a Baptist church.
Yeah. You should be a reverend.
You think so?
You'll have people clapping and you got this seriousness about you.
Yeah. You need to wear leather suits.
And get used to people like throwing activator on you and throwing fruit and I don't know what goes on in the Baptist church, so I'm
not too keen
I'm not
to
gonna
know.
go there, but I know it's wild, and I think you would do great.
Yeah.
A lot of yes lords thrown your way.
Yeah, you do. You got to be like,
not really.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say you would do great at a Baptist church.
yep, buy a Cadillac, wear a lot of gold.
And put a lot of plastic on and watch out for all the activator being thrown your way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because then the podium get all slippery. Look, this is going to go
It get crazy.
nowhere. But thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, it was.
We
Yeah, of course.
appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all for having me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you, man. I think you're gonna do a world of wonders for people, and we'll make sure for sure that we keep in touch with you.
Look here, we on the Instagrams.
And we on the Etsy's.
Yeah, and the Tic Tacs.
We
Tic
on
Tacs.
the Tic Tacs. Yeah,
You see how I did that right there, boy?
We on the Patreon too. I mean, thanks for all the Patreon members that have subscribed and have donated to the cause. It does help this damn channel.
It does. Subscribe.
Like the channel.
Shit, click the damn bell.
Ring the damn bell.
Oh yeah, that was my line. Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Xavier, do you want to ring the bell for us?
Let's go ahead and hold your hand up and ring that bad boy.
There you go.
Ring the bell.
Yeah. All right. It's been good. And we'll catch you on the flip.
Peace, y'all.
A boom bill.
I'll see y'all next time.